Hi guys, welcome back to Quinnalysis. I'm Izukuyo and we're here with Mr. Skary playing the Quinn versus Vladimir matchup. So to discuss the Vladimir matchup for a Quinn player, there's not much kill potential on him. He sustains a lot during the lane, and he also can pretty much escape all of your pressure with a well-timed W, his pool, his sanguine pool ability. So really, it's mainly a farm lane, and typically, not in this case because Mr. Skary is running the ignite, but it's typically who can use their teleports the best, and not really, not really kind of focus on fighting and getting ahead in lane, since there is little to no kill pressure on either side. So a couple of things to note about the Vladimir matchup, some kind of things you need to do and things you need not to do. You should never get hit by his empowered Q. So when his bar's all red and he runs after you, you should never get hit by it. There's no excuse to get hit by it. And another thing, you can avoid all of his E damage by standing behind the minions. And so if you were to fight him in a big minion wave, then you can avoid the majority of his damage completely. So Mr. Skary goes in for a trade here, backs out a little bit. What I would have done is just chased him right back to the tower, auto attacking. You know, he's got a very weak level 1. His Q without it being empowered really does not very much damage, as you can see, while Quinn's level 1 is exceptionally strong. Did take another Q though, trying to clear the ward, which was kind of pointless since you didn't get to trade back, and it was just unnecessary damage. And so something you want to do in this matchup is not take unnecessary damage, since he can out-sustain you in the lane. So trades like this, where you're tanking some of the minion wave, and you didn't get to really kind of do the most damage to your potential, and there we go with the empowered Q. So we can see all the damage coming in with the empowered Q there. Absolutely crazy damage for someone. He did start Amp Tome, so he is doing a little more than typically a typical Vlad top would, who would start maybe Doran's Shield. So very key to avoid his empowered Q harass and his E harass, which at the moment you're kind of training evenly, but you could be doing that a lot better. Far and away, so he is 3 CS ahead as well, so you can work on missing lots of CS there. Also jumping into him all the time with his empowered Q. So the first thing to note, like I've already mentioned, is do not go near him with his empowered Q. So we'll see it here. When he does empower, when his bar turns red, he will get a speed boost and he'll run towards you, and then it diminishes over time very quickly. And so all you have to do is run away from him while he's trying to chase you down with the empowered Q, and then he has to use it on a minion to sustain. So right now he's up 10 CS. He's pushed the wave nicely for you. It will at least reset a bit of the tower. So you can get a lot of CS here and even up the gap. There's a good, I don't know, 10 CS or so there. Should be able to get. You do, however, go for the invade. That's very nice. And that's a kill on the Poppy. Yeah, very good. I probably wouldn't have used my ignite there. If you're running ignite into the Vlad matchup, then really kind of saving it for the fights with Vlad is key. And so, unfortunately, because of that kill, which obviously benefits you and Xin Shao, so it does benefit the team a lot more, but you did lose all the CS under the tower, which kind of sucks. So again, taking more and more harass with his empowered Q, dodging his E though, but again, so very important, avoid his empowered Q by very simply just running away when he has it up, and you should have no problems there. For items, depending on how the lane goes, you may need a Hex Drinker. If he is playing incredibly aggressive and pushing the wave very hard, or you get camped a lot, you may need a Hex Drinker. Otherwise, if it's an even or you're ahead lane, then rushing the Yumu's is a very good idea. Vlad players also like to, the new meta for Vlad seems to be to rush Spirit Visage, and so, you know, in the lower elos they may tend to do this instead of going for the Zhonya's first, and obviously Magic Res does nothing against you. And so unfortunately you do get ganked. You did have a ward, so you did see that, but at this point, since you were so far pushed up, Poppy could have just walked in from anywhere really and you would have died. So what I would advise, what was this here? Putting this ward here instead, giving you a bit more vision down the river, and also, you know, giving you the vision from this bush as well. So the only place that they can gank, which you wouldn't see them, is if they come through the bush here, and then all the way up through into the lane bushes. So I get back into the game. So now Vlad at level 6 versus your level 5. Vlad has a very powerful level 6 ult, which so it amplifies all his damage and also gives him a bunch of healing. And so you have to be very careful when you ignite. So another key point in this matchup is when you actually ignite the Vlad. So Vlad doesn't do that much healing outside of his empowered Q and his ult. So making sure you know, if he comes for a ult dive, or if he's fighting you and he ults you, then once it pops right at the end, so after I think 3 seconds, just before that time, then you can ignite, and he may have an empowered Q straight after as well, so you're just always healing by half, and that's kind of where you would turn the fight around and then go chasing him back to his tower, and it would be forced to pull, and then maybe you could blow a flash as well. But right now Mr. Skary, so farming up, a little bit behind now, almost, what's that, 12 behind. So not in the best situation. Vlad's also got his Hextech gun thing, which is going to make him obviously heal a lot more. So really fighting him right now in short trades is going to work to his advantage. That damn gun called Hextech Revolver, yeah, that's the one. So these kind of trades here, this is what Vlad excels at. He excels at just the short burst trades with an empowered Q. Because all he has to do now is sit behind, sustain up, and eventually you will run out of potions. Now you did buy a, what's this called, a corrupting potion, which is actually very smart, but at the same time you bought a boots, and so your power is very weak right now compared to his. So you do have some sustain, but you really have no way to fight him. And he is very good at poking with his very long range ear. So you do decide to go for a gank. Let's see how this goes. GP ult, you do miss your Q unfortunately, but it doesn't seem to matter. Vlad teleports in, and so you should both be able to turn around and kill him. But no. Have to blow your flash, and then Poppy comes in. Dies. Which gives, oh no, he flashes, good flash. Insha comes in late. So let's just watch that again from your perspective. So you come in, you gank the Lux. You do miss the Q here, which is unfortunate, but all it means is that the Lux would die earlier. And right now, so you're chasing away from the Vlad. I personally would have ran down the river here into the GP ult, and to give GP, you know, to kite the Vlad towards the GP as well, giving him, because obviously he's very far away, and so kiting him towards him, and you know, down the river into the GP ult, also kites away from the Poppy. Unfortunately, you're out of the fight now. You did have to blow flash, but all in all, not the worst Worst fight in the world there. Vlad completely wastes his flash for absolutely no reason. And they have a fight. This rocket does nothing. Speed this up a bit. So you're looking again to come mid, which is okay. But again, so at 9 minutes into the game, your CS is at 31, so rather low. So right now, I would really focus on CSing. You do catch the Vlad, and unfortunately does puddle. So your stutter stepping here after every auto attack could be way better. So you go in, you auto attack. So first thing, you could come out of ult a lot closer towards him, a lot closer. Let's go back again. And so you find the Vlad here. You have no vision, so maybe you a bit surprised. You do find him with your W. And then if you drop out closer, you could be maybe here, kiting him back all the way to his tower. And obviously, the closer you are, then the more damage you can get at. And he W's away, so his W does give him some movement speed as well. And unfortunately, he does escape, but you do ult, and he does escape. And there is no dive happening there, especially with the poppy there, which you don't know about. But what you could have done there, yeah, if you dropped out of your ult closer towards him, and then chased him back, and then used the triple passive for the damage, probably would have killed him right there. He had no flash; he just blown it under the tower in mid lane, which maybe you didn't see because you were basing, but he did not have flash. So you're sitting on a ward, and so right now you should really be trying to focus on the CS, because you are getting further and further behind. And then you pink ward this bush. Now I'm not really a fan of pinking this bush at all, compared to pinking this bush, which just means your pink survives for a much longer time, guaranteeing that you're going to get more vision out of it, and it's also harder for Vlad and the enemy team in general to kill. You know, they have to maybe overextend to kill it. While this one is a very easy ward for them to kill. Doesn't provide that much information, you know, or any more information that a green ward would. Because great, you clear the ward here, but your team's not going to be ganking, you know, through this area. So really clearing the vision in the river leading up for your jungler is more key than denying them vision on their side of the jungle. So again, you're looking for roam mid. While if we look top, you have a big wave here and another one coming in. And so Vlad's just farming all this time, and because he has teleport, you know, he was able to join in the gank earlier. So he's far more focused on farm, and again, like you're missing all of this. 1, 2, 3, 5 minions here, another 6 here, 7 with the cannon. So you know that's another 12 CS missing, and I'm sure Vlad pushes this to the tower, even probably gets some tower damage in. But let's roll this. So you go for another gank mid, and unfortunately Sin goes a bit too early and scares her away. You come in to tax the mid lane, dismantle that time. So another thing as well, ulting this much around the map completely drains your mana. Before level 11, the ult costs, you know, a lot of mana. And so really you want to aim to really try and get something out of it every time you ult, whether it's a roam mid or it's a deep ward or, you know, whatever it is. Just using it willy-nilly and way too much just really completely drains all of your mana, as you can see right now. You have absolutely no mana. Vlad's gone back. He's I don't know what these new items. Hextech Proto Belt. So he's finished his Hextech Proto Belt, and you're sitting on. Oh, you are aiming for a Hex Drinker. Let's see if you buy that. Yeah, okay, so you get a Hex Drinker, so you're not in an absolutely terrible position, but you could be in a much better position. So again, you're looking for a roam. And a roam bot, I mean, I don't know. Let's have a look here at the vision. I don't know what you see here, like what your thinking is. So right now, if we look at the bottom right on the map, you see Vlad. That's the only person on the map you see. And so really, I mean, what kind of roam are you looking for here? Maybe you're looking to pressure the dragon. Your team wants to take the dragon, maybe. That's the only thing I can see, but otherwise, I don't know why you would fly down here. It really kind of doesn't make much kind of, you don't get an advantage out of just flying there, hoping that something happens. You know, you have to really think about what it is you're trying to achieve in your roam. So again, going back to what I always say, always fight for the objectives. So your roam should consist of, if you were going bot, taking out the dragon, or if you get a double kill bot lane, taking the tower and the dragon, or you know, something like this. While just going bot when there's absolutely no one there is a bit of a waste. Unfortunately, you do mess your Q there, which you would have been able to kill him off that. You did have ignite as well, and so essentially, like, understanding the power spike. So again, hiding behind the minions, so you're not taking any damage. You can just you just jump on him here, chase him back to the tower right here, and you're running away. It's unfortunate because you could have killed him there, but he sticks around anyway and lets you kill him. So in your case, you got lucky because he, instead of running away, I suppose he completely misjudged your damage as well as his own. I don't think he used his Predator belt. Maybe that's what his thinking was. So maybe if he used his Predator belt, he could have turned it around. Maybe, maybe not. So farming up, unfortunately, now you are almost half of his CS, which is just, yes, it's just not great at all, because even though, sure, you got one more assist and one more kill, but I'm sure he has. Have a look at the gold here. So let's see. So yeah, he's still ahead by 300 odd gold, just from CSC. And so something kind of, I see a lot of players happening, as well as everyone says it as well. Low elos, they love fighting, they love kills, while CS, you know, don't know exactly how much it is. I think something like 10 CS or 20 CS equals a kill. And so, you know, going by that, then you're already almost 3 kills behind. Well, 2 kills including the kill you have. So you go to clear the wave. Good. So this is what I would do. I would just clear the wave, and right now I'd be aiming to push for level 11 before I make any more roams. You unfortunately face check into Vlad, so always W as well. Nice wall hop though to escape, and this is what I like doing as well, clearing the pink over the wall with your green. So when you're checking bushes, always W. Always W into the wave if you don't know where the enemy is, or you don't have some idea. Always W and then run into the bush to avoid that kind of situation. If the poppy was in there as well, then you'd be very dead. So farming up or missing farm in your case, that's no problem, something to work on in future farming, which just takes practice. And so essentially you need to, right now I would probably not be fighting him, especially since you do not have your ignite. So you're on very low mana, level 10, using some potions, going for what, a gank mid, but they're taking the dragon. Your whole team's here, so it's very obvious. See what happens. So right now Vlad is again pushing the town, getting further and further ahead. Army does land, has to go flash. Well that was nice enough. You did auto attack the Lux, and then you missed an auto attack on the Lux. It's a bit unfortunate. It just means maybe you would have got the Caitlyn kill instead of the Jinx rocket. So this is very overextended anyway, but right then, that's watch that again. So they're just taking the dragon. You see two of them, and unfortunately, yeah, I would not be running into the Sona anyway, who has ult, and the Poppy. Unfortunately, you and Nami do get caught by the Lux Bind, which is a very good play. Beat this up again. So now you've lost your tower, so now giving Vlad, who's an excellent split pusher, a much easier time now, pushing the wave and forcing you top while he roams with his teleports. So you take Ignite for the lane dominance, and in this case, you know, it really does counter Vlad's healing. But you didn't get to use it because you were never in lane, so you're roaming around all the time. So you know, if you like the roam playstyle, then why not take the teleport, because you don't really use Ignite in lane. I mean, you should. So I mean, I personally would still take the teleport versus the Vlad, just because we don't need it to win. But if you like it, then you know, you really have to use it to its full advantage and you know, pressure Vlad a lot more than you were doing, since you have a combat summoner and he does not. So you go for a gank here. It's very good. You do not E straight away, but unfortunately you get hit by the binding instead. So cases like this, you make it very obvious, you know, where you're gonna. So you land here, fine, but then you make it very obvious you're gonna chase the Lux here, while I would have moved, you know, to the side this way, forcing her to throw kind of a sideways bind, and maybe I'd be able to juke it, maybe not. Personally, I would have come in, roll it a bit further back. I would have come in a lot further behind, making a big arc around instead of coming straight here, you know. So I want to be as close to her tower as possible to give myself the most damage I can, the most time to damage her as I can, while she has to escape back to her tower. So when ganking, yeah, try to get the most damage possible. So coming around here, or even round the tower this way, would have given you even more time on her to really, yeah, pump out the auto attacks. You go for gank on Vlad. So look at that burst already. Vlad does crazy damage. Crazy damage, but you do get the kill. Or Sin gets the kill. Yeah. And so you go back to farming up. So I would again push this wave. I don't know where Poppy is. Do we know where Poppy is? No, we haven't seen Poppy yet. And we will see a bot shortly. So you've got plenty of time to push this. I think, is that what you're doing? Yes. Okay, exactly. So you see the Poppy. It's exactly what I was thinking. You see the Poppy and you say, right, I've got a free push. I'm going to clear this up a bit. Force Vlad to come up here instead of roaming. And obviously build up your piggy bank as well. So I would have even gone for another wave here. Maybe Vlad would have teleported onto it, and then you could have, you run away, which is a complete waste of his. He does anyway. Okay, fine. It is a complete waste of his teleport. He would have got to this wave a lot quicker. The only thing, the only way this would have been a good teleport is if they were going to rush the Rift Herald right after, which they are not. So he wastes his teleport, or just clearing the wave a bit faster, a good maybe 5 seconds faster. So you're waiting for him to push. You did buy a Vamp Scepter just to sustain in lane. So you have a Vamp Scepter and 3 Corrupting Potions, which is a bit too overkill, really. I mean, right now you're not going to be fighting him anyway, so both of those items are kind of a waste. You know, you let him take your tower, And now you don't need to sustain the lane because you never fight him in a big, you know, in a sustained matchup. You now don't need to fight him, so you don't need the sustain. Getting the burst damage. Getting the burst damage would have been much more beneficial for your roams. So you have to think, you know, what kind of damage, what kind of game am I playing, and itemize around that. Not necessarily I'm top lane Quinn and I'm versus Vlad. So versus Vlad you need sustain and you need the ignite, you know, the MS effect to stop his healing. You have to think, well, I'm roaming a lot, so I don't need the sustain. The lane sustain versus the Vlad. Unfortunately, you run into a trap there. See why you do that. I don't know if you were thinking if you can get through, but running into a Caitlyn trap is certain death. She could have killed you very easily there if she had also used her 90 caliber net. So never run into Caitlyn traps unless, you know, it's absolutely safe. And the Caitlyn, you know, and there's no Lux or Sona or anyone else around to do that. You know, to follow up on the trap, as you see. So right now, what would you really want to do? So I would personally, I'd look at the map and say, well, I want to clear bot lane. There's some minions bot lane, and I know they're pressuring the tower, but my team can handle that, hopefully. Yeah, I want to farm up, keep pressure on the side lanes. Do eat the Sona ult, that's fine, they had no follow-up. So playing Quinn, I like to keep pressure on the side lanes constantly. Is that what you're going to do? Oh, okay. So you're looking around. Oh, you do face check into all of them, which was very lucky they didn't land behind. Wow. And now they're going to do dragon. Top lane's getting pushed, and because you didn't clear it, Jinx has to go and do it, and you go as well. So now there's 2 top, and they're taking another Earth Drake. So dealing with that push on a Caitlyn, that's gonna suck. And but maybe he dies. That's fine. You get the Vlad kill. 300 gold there in your pocket, but was it really worth it? 3 people coming up here for the dragon. I mean, Jinx did come up here anyway, so killing him does give you some benefit, outside of absolutely none. But if you had been controlling the waves better from the start, top lane and bottom lane as well, then you know you could have maybe contested the dragon and not have to worry about the ridiculous push that I'm sure is coming later on. So, put some pressure down on the tower, that's fine. Jinx is getting the bot lane, they're going to take that tower. Unfortunately, you won't be able to take this tower by the time Vlad comes back. And now they've got free pressure on the bot tower, which they could take. I don't know why your army is top side. But they could take. And now you don't have TP, you can't join the fight. They're losing the fight terribly. Yeah, so they're all dying. Tin runs in the trap. Does he survive? Yes, he does. So now, you know, you took Ignite and you didn't get to use it. While with Teleport, maybe you could have come in, made some plays, saved your team a bit. But now you have to deal with defending bot lane and top lane, which is okay at the tier 2s for Quinn, since you can speed around very quickly. But it just means you can never really sit down and, you know, get some decent farming, get some decent tower pressure. So in this game, you're always on the back foot, and as Quinn, you always want to be on the front foot, pushing the towers and pressuring the towers. Vlad does push very well. He dies. Vlad does push very well, but early game, you know, you really do have the advantage to really kind of pressure him under the tower, maybe get some early kills in. As long as you avoid his enhanced Q, his empowered Q. So items, you did go did go straight for the Maw. Yes, maybe in this situation with the reasonably fed Lux as well. Gone for. I mean, it's an okay buy. The Maw. I personally would have just left it at Hex Drinker and finished off maybe a Yumu's. I would have gone for Yumu's. And if I really needed it as well, I would have bought a Sash. Not this early. Would buy a Sash to get out of the Lux binds. Maybe even sell my Hex Drinker for a Scimitar a bit later on. So here you have a free kill on Caitlyn. You E unfortunately straight away, and so maybe she used her net. But in a 1v1 versus Caitlyn, you do not want to E until she uses her net, because then she gets so much distance on you, and you won't be able to chase. So you come in here, you do get knocked out of your ult, straight into the Sona ult. It's fine, you survived. But really, your team, you know, you come into. Let's have a look at that fight in slow mo. So they're fighting away. You come in, you get knocked out of your ult, so you can't E. So in this situation, I would just E immediately onto the Vlad, because you want to get your combo as fast as possible. Not, you know, you don't need to worry about doing the most amount of damage with, you know, coming out of ult, getting a passive proc. You know, the whole 3 passives. I would have just instantly gone on the Vlad, vaulted him, auto attack Q, auto attack, which would have killed him, and then get you out of the fight as fast as possible as well. So you want to get the kill and then disengage the fight as fast as possible. But unfortunately, you do get knocked out, and then Sona does land a nice ult here. And if Lux managed to land that bind a lot earlier, then you and GP would have died, and they would have taken an tower. But you get out scot-free from Lux's misplay. So I don't know what you're building. You have a dagger. Okay, you're going Zeal. So for Zeal item this game, tough call. I probably would have gone Shiv just to try and put as much damage out as possible while playing defensive. Sorry, I missed that while I was talking. So when trying to kind of play a burst type of game instead of sustained. Unfortunately, you do get hit by the blind again. Not the blind, the bind. So what I would do, what I do versus Lux is I just fly at them. I don't come out of ult. I fly at them until they throw the bind, and I'm dodging around. I'm dodging around here. Just flying around this whole area until she throws out the bind, and then drop out and try to kill her. So unfortunately now you're just way too far behind, and blowing the flash really maybe could have got a kill. Does force a flash and her barrier, so she panics, but now you're very out of position, and should be fine to escape. Less Lux lasers, doesn't. And so yeah, versus the Lux, just fly around her really fast with wide arcs, so she has a hard time hitting a bind. And if she misses the bind, then you can come out next to her and then just completely chase her down. And she can't do anything versus that. While if she hits the bind, you know, that's how you outplay, is to make her miss her bind. But if she hits the bind, then it's a lot harder for you to kill her, and that's how she survives. So you do find Sona and just one shot her. That's fine. So really nothing's happening right now in your game. So you've spent 27 minutes and no towers have died. Absolutely none. So we got a bit of a lead, 6-2 and 4. And so I'd really look at pressuring the towers and pinging your team back not to fight. Even though you guys are 5v4, you really need to be pressuring the towers. And so GP did get a kill on Caitlyn, but everyone's going back, everyone's on low health. And Sona's already spawned. Caitlyn's still dead, but you know, there's no pressure on the towers here. On any objectives, so always fight. Fight around the objectives. Fight for the objectives. So you catch the locks, this is very nice. And that's very unfortunate if you had a tiny bit more damage, or if you'd auto-attacked first going into the vault and auto-attacked, she would have died. Unfortunately, if she hits the bind, then she can just run away. So if you dodge the bind, then you kill her. Get hit by the bind, you don't. So another mountain dragon. Do you let him get 3? Run straight past Poppy. Good job, Shia wasn't watching. Fine, we pick up the Vlad. She disengages. Fine, your arm is DCing. You fly around, you find the Vlad again. Don't overextend too far. Good. So you find the Poppy. Maybe your team could have collapsed into the Poppy there. She's going to chase you down with the Vlad. Unfortunately your team is not engaging. But right now you can vault. Yeah, nice vault over the tower. Should be fine surviving this. Especially with your potion rolling. Which is good to do there. But unfortunately, because of your misplay, your misposition, forced your team to run around, try to cover you. They got caught and they died. So people say, well, it wasn't my fault. You know, they're the ones that I'm fine. They didn't. They died. I'm fine. Well, unfortunately, your action of running into and hitting the Vlad and then disengaging too late caused their entire team to chase you, your entire team to try to help you, get caught and die and lose the dragon. So now they have three mountain dragons and a Caitlyn. So good luck defending that push. I mean, GP does have, yeah, pretty nice wave clear, but Caitlyn's just gonna two-shot these towers. But again, they're not pressuring the towers very hard either, so right now you're in a bit of a farm off. And you guys are actually ahead. Head and kill is just so behind in farm. Look at everyone's farm really. Caitlyn 100 ahead. Vlad 100 ahead. Poppy 30 ahead. It's only mid lane really. The difference 50. And this is a very nice kill. On the Caitlyn. Just watch that again because I was busy talking. Not watching my screen. So nice, you don't vault straight away. And then you vault, that's absolutely perfect. You vault while she is. Couldn't have played that any more perfect. That was very well done. So that's the exact way to counter a Caitlyn. Very hard to do, maybe you did it by accident, maybe not. Let's not diminish your success. That was perfectly played to kill the Caitlyn. But I would have stayed down there to kill the tower. Kill the tower and take the free 400 gold. Give your team some gold and get a bit of map pressure. But you're too thirsty for kills, way too thirsty for kills. And sure, you're 8-2 right now. But you're not translating that into much of anything. Much of a lead at all. So unfortunately you do miss the blind there again. It's fine. Certainly lands a very nice ult. That dies. So you really need to be pressuring the towers. Fight around the objectives. Once you get a kill, once you get a kill, always look to take an objective. So as soon as you kill someone, literally in a team fight, you kill someone. Right? What can I do? What can I tell the team we can do? Okay, so we need to take a tower. Which tower is the best one? Well, in this stage of the game, now that Baron is available, pushing the bot lane is, in my opinion, the best push to look for. Then, if you force their team bot lane, then you can have a look at take a look at taking the Baron in a 5v4 situation, or 5v3 even. So here comes the Mountain Drake is taking effect. The Caitlyn just absolutely annihilating the towers. GP DC'd, yeah, unfortunately, but not that really matters in this game at all. And they go to seal the deal with the Baron, I take it, and you guys have no vision. They have vision of you. They're not scared. They're not worried. They can absolutely annihilate that Baron with 3 Drakes, and they do. Yeah, they're completely destroyed by the time you get there. Army waits are all completely randomly. So at this point, really, there's not much you can do. I would still be going bot, trying to clear the wave, sacrificing these this tower here, the tier 2s, because really you want to defend the inhib towers, and you know, obviously the time it takes to defend bot to the tier 2 towers is a lot more than just just all of the inhib towers inside your base. So you land a nice trap there. Just gets a nice trap. Does instantly, and you're trying to fight Vlad, and at this point, really, you have no real chance of 1v1ing him without the ignite. I would have tried. Let's just watch that fight again. Go back a bit more. So GP is bot, so I would have just put a bit of poke down, throw out some blinds, but not fought them at all. So this bait here probably gets caught. If you're in position, maybe you could have jumped on it before he puts up a W shield. Zone control. Jinx is completely out of position, but now you're fighting the Vlad 1v1, which really isn't going to go well for you this late into the game. Even though you are much more fed than him, in terms of kills, you're probably even in power to CS, and obviously he's just doing so much damage and healing it all. So yeah, I don't think Vlad was really the right target there, but yeah, trying to power through this team comp with the dragons, with the Baron. And by this point you're really out of the game, but I would have jumped on the Poppy as she was in the trap. But you do find the Caitlyn, she does flash, but she flashes to safety, and you flash back into the base. And that's game. So, to summarize, number 1, avoid Vlad's empowered transfusions. When his red bar is at max, walk away and wait for him to use it on a minion before going back to CS. Number 2, farm up. Focus more on farming early game and always push the wave before you look to roam. Number 3, use your ignite. If you take ignite to counter Vlad, then you have to use it. His empowered Q and the ult damage heal him, so look to use it just before these go off. Number 4, mid to late game, push the side waves and then join the fight. By keeping pressure on the side waves, it forces your opponents to send 1 or 2 people to deal with you, which gives your team time to take towers or barons or dragons on the other sides of the map. And above all else, always pressure the objectives. When you roam, think about the tower you want to take and then the champions you need to kill to take that tower, not the other way around. It doesn't matter if you are 10-0, if you cannot translate it into objective control, then you can never win the game. This game being the perfect example of that. Pressure the objectives. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. If you have any questions, feel free to write it in the comments below, or you can find me over at www.reddit.com/r/QuinnMains, or you can add me in-game on a ZQO on EU West. Peace.